And hello, everyone. That's Manos is here. And,
I'm
Manos is back. Manos is back.
I always expect you to say a lot more when you start the show. I always expect you to go, "Hey, it's Duke and Manos, the core comic show," and blah, and I'm just waiting for you to like, "Hey."
We're still recording.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Let's hear us say this. I don't know.
Yes,
I was expecting you to say all that, and then you go, "Hey," and then you just stop.
You want to start again, then?
No. Let's keep this.
Okay. Yeah, this is probably comedy gold. We'll work on that next time. I swear, Manos. We need to. You know what? Someday we should rehearse. Someday.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to interrupt you.
I know. You have a point. You have a great point. You have a good point. So, yes, it's comic news with Duke and Manos. He's back.
Hi, I'm Manos. I'm back.
Yes, he was gone. He was having fun, and this show's late because I was having fun, and a lot of conventions for you and me.
Yes, we had lots of convention fun.
Yes, and you could go to our videos of talking about it and see, especially a really interesting story that happened to me.
Now, I haven't watched your convention video yet, because you just posted it, right?
Yeah, right.
Did you talk about the horse hybrid during your video?
I had to mention that. I'm sorry. That was too disturbing to keep to myself.
Good.
If you wonder what we're talking about, go watch the video. Oh, God. Or talk to me later when I'm trying to get it out of my nightmares.
I just find that strange.
Try being the guy there.
No. I just find that there was a furry booth at this convention. I mean,
they were in the far corner.
That's, I don't care if it's pop culture. That's a sexual fetish. I mean, that's like, establishing a spanking booth next year.
Yeah.
It's, hey, where's the spanking booth? Oh, it's next to the Star Wars booth.
I really wish they put those people near the zombie booth, just so they know to stay away. I felt so bad for the Stormtrooper chapter and the Mandalorian Guild. They were cool people.
You can see those. I mean, you could see maybe, that wouldn't be a bad idea. You could have a cosplay zombie people with, like, a severed hand.
Oy. May I add, it's not that I was surprised it was there when I got there. I knew this months in advance and was hoping they'd get kicked out. Sadly, apparently they had good money. They had, because you had to pay to get a booth. Apparently they paid the money, and God, why did they say yes to the money?
Well, let's face it, furries usually do it. I mean, where else, how else are they going to buy, like, suits that have, like, holes where their crotches are?
Yeah, but also, unfortunately, because...
It costs money. That shit ain't cheap.
Here's why I figured they did it. Because this is their first year, and they just needed the money for whatever they needed.
Yeah.
Said yes to anything. Hopefully next year they think they're good enough where they don't have to say okay to every fucking disturbing booth. Because things suck when you go to the zombie booth for comfort when you walk past it. And there was a killer clown.
I guess we should be thankful there was no, like, neo-Nazi booth or something.
I was joking that it was there somewhere. Like, it's next to the food court, isn't it?
Well, you see, with the Captain America film, we'll be very popular this year.
You know what? We should probably get on to the news.
All right.
Okay, so let's see. The last 3 minutes, we got my horrible, 5 minutes of a horrible con experience and horrible behind the scenes between me and Manos. We're going good tonight, folks. So, Manos, take the first story.
Hey, Daredevil gets born again on screen. There is news that a new Daredevil film has been greenlit, and it's going to be separate from the previous film with Ben Affleck in the movie. And this one apparently is going directly on Born Again, the classic Frank Miller story. And Fringe Writer-producer Brad Kane is set to write a draft on it. Their director, Dave Slade, is still set to direct. He's the guy who made one of the Twilights, in the excellent Hard Candy and the arguably good 30 Days of Night. So this is going to be interesting. I'll be honest, I liked the Daredevil film, and the director's cut is very good, actually. That's the film they should have released in theaters. I think the studio just didn't know what they had, so they just cut it down to the dumbest cut they could, which is too bad. I do think that if Dark Watchmen had come out before, I think they would have had more confidence, but they didn't.
We'll never know, Manos. We'll never know.
Yeah, but to be honest, it's way too late to do a sequel, I think. I think after a few years, you shouldn't bother with the sequel. When was the first Daredevil film? 2002?
I think 2003.
2002, 2003. Yeah, that feels a little too long, really. I don't like doing sequels after a certain amount of time. Yeah. I can't stand it when I occasionally see a sequel to a movie that is 20 years old.
Yeah, and you have about as much faith in it as, anybody.
Yeah.
Well, that might... no. You have to stop yourself mid-sentence.
Yeah, they're still talking about a Ghostbusters 3. It's Ghostbusters 89.
Not to mention, they've been talking about a Ghostbusters 3 since 89.
Yeah, no kidding. Well,
yeah,
maybe Ghostbusters 2 should have been good. Then we would have had a Ghostbusters 3.
Maybe we had some faith.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've ever seen Chinatown and its sequel, The Two Jakes, which was made, I think, 29 years later.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
Not to mention another example. This isn't a bad example, I think, but Tron Legacy, that was forever.
Yeah. What were you going to say?
Oh, no, I was just saying, it's really weird when sequels come out to movies that were out before, in my case, before I was born.
Yeah, a whole generation. When a generation goes by,
yeah,
it's time to start thinking maybe remake.
It might be a safe bet. We're not sure.
Yeah.
We're not sure. I don't read a lot of Daredevil. I've been meaning to read Born Again and all of Miller's stuff. Someday down the road. Someday.
Born Again is brilliant, and I do think that story is the blueprint for every changed story you see Marvel DC do nowadays, where they destroy the character and build him back up. This story, I think, is very influential in that. I think a lot of stories that do that, going back to even the death of Superman, I think a lot of them are influenced on this story. I think Born Again is probably one of the most important comic book storylines in the last 30, 40 years.
Yes. I hear enough people saying that, so I will take your word and everyone's word for it on that. I'll read it eventually. Right now, at this moment, I have 18 trades I have yet to read.
Not that I'm overselling this. But
yes, I'm going to get really angry email from people to say, buy it now. Do it now.
Hey, Duke, I will add one more thing to this story. I remember Mark Steven Johnson, who made the first one,
saying he was going to do this.
He wanted to do that as a sequel. He wanted that to be Daredevil 2. Born Again.
Yeah. So, should we move on to the next story?
Yes, I've already moved on.
I've moved on from this. Northlanders to end in issue 50. I figured since a while back we mentioned that DMZ by Brian Wood's ending, to mention this is ending. I hear a lot of good things about this series. And also, I'm a sucker for Vikings. And I believe Vikings are involved. Are you still there, Manos?
Yeah, I'm just listening.
I'm sorry. The way Skype can be, I'm really hesitant when I hear silence.
Okay. I'll make you talk.
He'll eat a corn on the cob or something, or type out on his computer for background noise.
Keep talking.
On second thought, I prefer I don't know. So yeah, the series is ending, proving a statement I made before that Vertigo series don't go past 70, and this is ending at 50.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's 10 issues away, so that's still a while. So yes, if anyone's a fan of it, you now know, even though this came out on June 8th, the day before my birthday. Also, yes, breaking news, I'm 18 now. Someone wanted me to mention that, like, how old are you? I'll mention it on a video someday. I guess. There you go.
That means you are legal to have sex with any horse hybrid you want.
Wow, Manos, everything's clearer now. I don't regret telling that story. I just regret that someday I'm probably going to run into that person again. Oy. I'm glad I'm bringing you joy. So our next story, to go along with filling in Manos' anger in a way, Uncanny X-Men is going to end in October with issue 544.
So are they going to reboot it and start it again?
With X-Men, it probably doesn't seem necessary, considering they have like 3 ongoings, I think, right now. I'm losing track.
Yeah.
And I'm just counting X-Men team titles. I think they have 3. They have, not counting Uncanny, they have X-Men, X-Men Legacy, and Uncanny X-Force. So they can do whatever the hell they want. Because not only is it Marvel, and they're, well, okay, fine, we're going to get to the reboot, the DC reboot again soon, and that's being hypocritical, but they're bad about just canceling and renumbering stuff.
Marvel's really bad at it. I mean,
yeah.
I would not be shocked if 2 months from now you're going to start Uncanny X-Men #1.
For all we know, they are. For all we know, they are. But with X-Men
from now, they're going to renumber back to, I don't know, maybe 560 or something like that.
We're going back to 672 because we want to. We're not crazy. You're crazy. Yeah. Yeah, it just throws a little bit more into why. Why?
Yeah, I mean, this is...
Especially with X-Men.
Yeah, I mean, this is the flagship X-Men book. There's really no need to cancel it. It's not like they're going to stop doing X-Men characters.
Oh, God. There's a parallel Earth where that might be considered. Not even happened, just considered.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just... That's the one where I'm just like, okay, now you're just phoning it in with this whole, we're canceling stuff. Because really, canceling an X-Men title when you have 3 others, and then not to mention all the other characters that have a book who are based off of, okay, fine, all the Wolverine family who have books, like whatever. That's just, you're just phoning it in at that point.
Like the 90s were criticized for having all these shiny alternate covers and stuff like that. I think the modern equivalent to that now is canceling.
And then just renumbering the title eventually.
Yeah, I mean, it's the new shiny cover is the canceling and renumbering.
That's pretty much true. I don't know why they keep. Well, that's the thing. And this statement's been made before, but Marvel likes to follow trends where they think something good happens when they do something, so they keep doing it, even if they don't know it's not working, and they'll just stop because they get bored.
It's like when you tell your aunt at the age of 8 that unicorns or something, and they keep buying unicorns well into your 20s.
Yeah.
Completely ignoring the fact that you stopped hating it when you turned 15.
Yeah, it's.
I think maybe that's the problem. Marvel is the aunt that just doesn't.
Marvel is the aunt to comic book fans.
Yes.
They need to put that into their slogan somehow. Marvel, your aunt.
Who smells like menthol.
And okay, so basically we've mentioned the small news stories from this week. Now a lot of people really want to know this. Okay, Manos, DC Reboot.
All right. What about it?
No, the other thing will go in there with it. Just talk.
All right. Let's see. DC is going to run national TV ads to support their comic book reboot. And let's see. I'm reading this off of what website is this? This is Bleeding Cool.
Yes.
And okay, they restarting the comics, renumbering them, blah blah blah. The
digital same day release.
They're doing TV ads going to run on what? The ad exchange with BBC America to organize their Crime OGN line and the Fables collections online. So we're going to actually see these on national TV. That we're going to be watching.
I don't know. This is a really vague article, and this is the most detail I could get out of this one. It's cool that they're going extreme and putting out commercials. No one does that. Comic shops don't even do that rarely.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they should. I don't know. They should. But what's with the monkey playing drums?
Yeah, it's plain bleeding cool. I don't know.
Is that Bleeding Cool's idea of like, you know what, we don't have to put up. Here's a monkey playing drums.
I recognize that monkey. It's from a really famous ad that's like an internet meme of sorts, and they were just thinking, they're probably thinking in this one, commercialism. Let's do that. Let's get a picture of that funny monkey ad. Also we could just assume that, that's Dan DiDio at drums, and again,
I have a great idea. I have a great idea.
What?
Because you're talking about how they're doing this to get more readers, that sales really aren't the thing. I have a great idea for an ad.
I'm listening, Manos.
We have shots of like starving writers and artists with the song Armed Angel played over that from Sarah McLachlan.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah. And maybe Sarah McLachlan shows up and, tells everybody
she's
how
she's
starving.
Like holding up one of them like a puppy.
Yeah, yes.
This is Jeff Johns. Jeff Johns needs more money.
He barely pulls $50,000 a year.
He runs an entire company technically and is writing most of the flagship titles at DC. Won't you help him?
Arms of an angel. I can't. Here's a shot, and then they'll have a shot like Rob Liefeld, in a box in an alley.
Oh yeah, because he's fucking working on a book, isn't he?
Yeah, he got left behind by his owner, and he has like his babies like.
They all look like rejected image designs.
Yeah.
Which is creepy, considering that those are their rejected image designs.
Yeah, I would imagine that's what his babies would look like.
Yes, they all look like they're all young blood. So now we got that out of the way. Now it's because last week we were unfortunately spared your commentary on the reboot. Your thoughts on it, because I've known little about what you think of it.
Oh, really? Okay. I actually was thinking about putting up a video about it, because all I've done is like.
If you want to, sure, but it'd be cool if you talked a little.
No, we can talk about it.
Okay.
I have extraordinarily mixed feelings about this whole thing, and it's not going to stop me buying DC, obviously.
No.
But one of the things, sadly enough, I've gotten very used to being frustrated by DC.
Okay.
I have gotten very used to them constantly shifting continuity, constantly shifting status quos. I'm very, very used to it now. I almost feel like I should just shrug this off and go, well, it's DC being DC. I am enjoying younger readers getting more frustrated with it. Because, I want to tell them, yeah, if you're going to be a DC fan, this is how it's like. You gotta get used to Wonder Woman changing every 2 years. That's kind of how it goes. And I respect and understand their position that they need to build sales and getting new readers. I fully agree with that. I definitely think that's obvious. It's a business, so the business is to get more readers and maintain readers. And I do agree with the concept that they're doing with the digital.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good idea, although I am fearful of what this will mean for comic stores in the future. For the time being, I think it's a good idea. Individual things I find frustrating. I'm glad that Dick Grayson is finally out of the Batsuit.
Yeah, that I was waiting for you to mention.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Of course.
He is not Batman. I'm sorry, Dick Grayson fans.
All 5 of you.
No. There are some Dick Grayson
I'm sorry.
fans.
I know.
And, I'm sorry. Batman is Bruce Wayne. That's Bruce Wayne's story. It's not a Dick Grayson story. And the Trinity of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, those are those characters. Those aren't interchangeable guys like the Green Lanterns, for instance,
or the Flash,
or the Flash, or Hawkman. The Trinity is, and there's multiple Hawkmen of the sky, which is hilarious.
Yes, Hawkman has multiple personality disorder right now.
Yeah, no kidding. But I mean, the Trinity is Clark Kent, Bruce Wayne, Diana. That's it.
If you try and mess it up, we're gonna have a lot of passionate people like Manos here saying no.
Yeah, it's just a bad idea. I mean, especially a man who is a hero by choice. He's not a hero by happenstance. Even if you count the fact that his parents were murdered, he chose to be Batman. He created Batman. Batman is not Dick Grayson. That's just it. And that's all how I've always felt. And enjoying Dick Grayson fans getting really mad that their guy was pulled out. And I also thought that Dick Grayson in the Batsuit, along with Batman, I think diminished Batman as a character.
That always annoyed me, mostly because the only way you could tell them apart is the symbol.
Yeah, yes.
And they never show you the damn symbol.
Yeah.
At least visibly, it was annoying, but that's just because I have OCD.
It was very obnoxious to see them together. And it's like, Dick Grayson was like, when Batman came back, he was like that kid who hangs out at high school long after he graduated.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need to go.
Someday I'm going to be that kid because I just graduated from high school.
I recommend just a few months and then leave.
Yeah, I know.
I remember when I was in high school, there was this dude. He would hang out like throughout he graduated after my sophomore year. In my junior year, he hung out all the way through that year. And then in my senior year, I saw him again hanging out. It's like, you need to go.
Just go.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
It's cool to stop by, say hello to your friends from the previous year, but, after a couple months, it's kind of creepy.
Only kind of.
Only kind of. Then it gets more creepy. The longer you stay.
Yes.
But I also am not a big fan of this whole renumbering thing. Getting new fans, getting new readers, you don't need to renumber.
The number's not important. It's honestly a label to make sure you know what's what.
Well, listen, DC, when they rebooted Batman and Superman last time around during Crisis, they didn't renumber their books. Batman Year One, the Frank Miller miniseries that started over, that was in the regular Batman title.
Well, actually, yes. I just want to put out a technicality. Technically, they did and they didn't. They renamed Superman Adventures of Superman and then started another Superman
but
title.
They kept Action Comics the same.
Yeah, they kept Action and Detective the same too. But technically, the Superman book was still there. They just renamed it.
Yeah, well, I mean, look at Batman Year One, though. I mean,
yeah, of course. I'm not diminishing your point.
Down because people are so confused.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, is this where I should start? No, people who come into one of these characters will pick up whatever book is available. Batman, $8.99. Well, they'll grab that.
Yeah.
it being Batman #1 isn't going to make a huge hell of a lot of difference. And it actually is more simple when you leave the numbering alone. Because, hey, I started picking up Batman. What came before? Maybe I should check this out. Oh, I can just go back in the numbering, and it'll be very easy for me to figure it out if I want to like understand what happened before. Whereas if you keep renumbering every so often, well, who the hell knows where to start? I mean, that's what I think Marvel is doing wrong. Is their constant renumbering. I pity anybody black in the future. Because they're just not going to understand where the hell to start. And I think that's the danger with DC.
Hold on, my phone's going off. Keep talking.
Okay, I'll keep talking. But,
I'm sorry, I thought I had that on silent.
That's okay. But what do you think of numbering?
Okay, the thing is, I'm extremely mixed on it. On one hand, I'm a trade guy. I don't read... I read in issues, I don't buy issues. I'm more just focused on, is it a good story I'm reading? But you have a good point. It's going to be confusing when you want to try and look back and figure out what came before. It's another thing that just annoys me, and this is just personally to me, I kind of am angry they renumbered Action and Detective just because, like, those were like the very first books. Why do you have to screw up with that? Yeah. Leave that alone. They're like, Detective had a Guinness World Record on it that you could still be keeping if you could still decide not to do it. Just do what they did with Adventure, because when Adventure came back, here's what they kind of did. They had a variant cover that had the original numbering, but the regular cover had the new numbering, and then they eventually just stayed with the original numbering. They just randomly switched to it. They didn't make a big deal about it. They just quietly switched off.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what they should do, but I just want to point out that's what they did when.
And they pulled a marvel by just renumbering Wonder Woman back to 600.
Yeah, but that was the exception because they never did that before.
Yeah, it is the exception. It is something they very rarely have done, and it does speak to the idea that I hear people discussing, that this very rushed concept that they put through. Because, I mean, no way in hell did Grant Morrison and Jan about this when they were rebooting their books. No way. I mean, they would not have done what they did with Wonder Woman if they knew this was coming down the line.
It's also really weird, like, how much actual planning was put into this. It's just... Because sometimes you're wondering, like, was there planning put into it? And also, were you telling writers what to do? Were you having anything set up? Yeah. Or were you just making this up and figuring it out on your own, on the way?
I will say that I do have a minor theory, and I haven't heard anybody discuss this. You can correct me if...
Hold on, dude, hold on. Sorry about that, folks. A bit of a technical glitch, we'll say. So let's talk about all the books that are coming out, because there's going to be this year in September 52 new books. And do any catch your eye, Manos? Any in particular?
Well, of course, the Batman books. I gotta say, I'm excited about what's his name? What's that writer's name that everybody likes? Help me out. The one writing
Scott Snyder.
Scott Snyder. Yeah, Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo coming back from Spawn to do Batman. That sounds really exciting. Also, Tony Daniel doing Batman sounds cool.
I'm mad on him.
I know. Well, he's an acquired taste. People either like him or don't. I like him.
Yeah. There's another 51 books I could read besides him. So.
And I'm going to enjoy all 2 issues that Jeff Johns and Jim Lee does.
Well, Jim Lee, they'll get rid of Jim Lee in an instant when he can't do it.
And I'm also interested in Justice League Dark.
Oh, me too.
Madame Xanadu's coming back. Holy shit. I mean,
yeah, I knew that would get your attention.
Yeah, it did. It got my, she's never been like a big name. among the superheroes in DC. So it's interesting that kind of grouping. I'm waiting and waiting and waiting for Batwoman, and I know, and I think I'm now beginning to wonder, like, maybe that's part of the reason why that book was pushed back.
Maybe, because a lot of these books were previously announced a while back. A few are different. Static has a different writer than they planned on. I've noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew JL International was coming back, and we knew about Aquaman.
Also, Swamp Thing, written by Scott Snyder.
Oh, yeah, I don't know why, but I'm extremely excited for that. And not to mention the 2 issues that Paquette will do.
I also want to see Static Shock.
Yeah.
And I am interested in seeing... one of the things I do like about this reboot is the idea that they're incorporating Milestone and Wildstorm into this.
Yeah, they are. A lot of I don't want to say random, but kind of random.
I want to see the Wildcats back.
Yeah. Stormwatch, which who's Martian Manhunter's going to be a part of.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's a new universe, Manos. We're going to have to get used to it.
Yeah. And I want you to get used to this when they change everything in 10 years.
One thing I want to bring up, because it's been kind of an issue I've slowly, but it's just growing in me. Why does the Teen Titans look like they're from Image in the 90s?
Well, Brett Booth is doing the art. And he's got an Image 90s guy.
I know. I'm just like, oh. And then let's look at Superboy, dear Lord.
Well, I think that's just mainly a cover. I don't think that's going to be his general look.
I don't think that is either, but Scott Liddell, you aren't helping, because all the books that make me say hell no, he's writing.
Mm-hmm.
He's writing like 3 books out of this, damn.
I don't know about...
I'm really...
What books are you really excited about?
Action with Morrison. And the 2 issues Rags Morales will do. Yeah, they keep putting artists I know aren't going to go on forever. I'm sorry. All the big books, they put artists that, don't get me wrong, are cool, but they can't get shit done.
Yeah. I don't know what the artists. I mean, back in the day, the artists used to books monthly all the time. I don't understand what's going on. I don't know whose fault it is.
Yeah, because Rags Morales was the reason First Wave was horribly delayed, and we just forgot about that easily.
There was a period. There was a period when Todd McFarlane's Amazing Spider-Man was doing that book bi-weekly.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Like legitimately, it makes a lot of sense. He's co-publisher of the company.
Yeah.
Not to mention he's working on a lot of stuff. He's has his hands in a lot more things than people want to know. Than people probably would ever want to know. I'm
sorry.
Honestly, just the big title characters I'm kind of fascinated, at least checking out on. I'm probably going to check out every Green Lantern book. There's 4 coming.
Yeah. I will check out Wonder Woman because I'm relieved that the JMS crap has been, I guess, erased.
And you're getting Brian Azzarello and Cliff Chang, who will probably go for 2 issues.
Yeah. Who I like Brian Azzarello. So I'm curious about how he's going to work with Wonder Woman. But I don't really like her new costume very much, though.
I'm not too focused on the one costume that's making me question anything is why Cyborg looks like he's on mecha steroids. Doesn't he look really beefy in that?
He does look really strange. He looks like an over-accessorized toy.
Yeah. And also, I mentioned this last week, but I'm still fascinated to see Francis Manapul write The Flash. Because there's no proof that he's written anything.
Yeah, so I'm sure he's written something. But
and not to mention, he probably has Jeff Johns' scripts to kind of look off for inspiration in terms of how he's going to do it. So.
Yeah. But I want to ask you, what the fuck is with putting Wonder Woman in Lois Sutton? Why is that such a big deal now? I don't understand that.
Sorry, you kind of cut off. Putting Wonder Woman in what?
In long pants.
I don't. Oh, the weird part is Black Canary has. They took away Black Canary's jacket in the redesign.
Oh, that's a bad costume too.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Maybe Wonder Woman was cold.
I'm sure he has a jacket she could put on. Well, I guess not anymore.
Apparently there's no jackets allowed unless you're John Constantine, who's in Justice League Dark.
I don't know. It's just so weird. All of a sudden, like, oh, we gotta put pants on her. I don't know. But my least favorite costume is Harley Quinn's design.
I don't know.
That looks really, really bad. That is like the worst one, easy.
It looks like something a cosplayer had to think, I'm totally Harley Quinn, wink.
Yeah. You know what I saw on, I think it was one of the DC boards, someone brilliant. It looks like one of those fan art designs where people like to imagine what the Harley Quinn in the Dark Knight would look like. I thought, oh my god, that looks exactly like someone trying to figure out, you see...
Like Nolan versus Harley Quinn?
Yeah, Nolan versus. You see drawings of the Heath Ledger one, and then they'll, have a screwed up look at Harley Quinn next to him. Yeah, that totally looks like...
Yeah,
some of these costume designs are just fine. Some of them look really cool, and keeping them with the character. But that one, I didn't even know what it was until I read.
I'm just like, is that supposed to be the imposter Harley Quinn from that game coming out?
When I saw her, I thought that was Dula Dent.
Who knows? In this new reboot, who knows what we're getting?
We could have Dula Dent back. I don't know. But I have mixed feelings about Batgirl.
Because it's Gail Simone.
It's Gail Simone. Always does a great job.
But it's Barbara Gordon.
But turning her back into Batgirl now feels like a regression. And it feels like if you put Dick Grayson back as Robin, really.
I'm seeing that. Like, how young is she gonna be then?
I don't know. See, that's the thing. It's like, she's grown as a character since becoming wheelchair bound as Oracle. As Oracle, she became a very important part of the DC universe. She became a member of Justice League as Oracle.
Yeah.
She never achieved any of this stuff as Batgirl. She never even had her own series as Batgirl.
She had a mini a few years ago during Battle for the Cowl.
Battle for the Cowl. That's an Oracle. That was an Oracle series.
Yeah, that was Oracle. Yeah.
Yeah, she never had any kind of not a mini series, or she had a one shot just before Killing Joke because they knew that was coming out, and so they wanted to give her one more thing. And she had backups in Detective Comics for a while, but she never had her own ongoing. And she had all this success as Oracle afterwards, and put her back into the costume. I don't know. I have very mixed feelings about this. I really do feel like it's stepping back with the character instead of stepping forward or giving us something we've always wanted. I feel like it's almost too late for that.
Well, how much will if it turns out being good, and trust me, I have all faith that it'll be good. It's Gail Simone. Will that make up for it if it's still good, or will that be in the back of your head?
It will be in the back of my head. It'll be good. I'll probably be thinking, hey, this is great. Too bad they had to ruin everything.
Yeah.
So, it'll be in the back of my head. But I'm sure the 6-year-olds who'll be reading this will be just enthused. Can't wait. I don't know if this will succeed, though. This whole #1 project. I know this will be people who read comic books to check them out, but I don't know if this will get, the random person who doesn't read comics.
Not to mention that this is, are you sure any of these, half of these are probably guaranteed to be either failures or borderline failures.
I'm looking at you, Frankenstein.
I'm looking at Hawk and Dove. They have Rob Liefeld. They were given a death wish.
Thank God he has those characters, because I couldn't give the shit less.
Exactly. The weird thing is, someone pointed out to me, he did Hawk and Dove early back in the day. Well, that's the most useless fun fact ever delivered to me, ever.
That is true. He did get his start with Hawk and Dove.
Yeah, so it's just okay, full circle. That book will definitely be delayed. Yeah, even books we don't care about are getting horribly delayed. Isn't that weird? Are you at all excited about a Catwoman getting an ongoing again?
Yeah, I am. And Gullum March is doing the art. I love Gullum March, and he does a fantastic Catwoman. So I probably will pick that up. I have mixed feelings about Judd Winick because I am off and on about that guy. He either is I either enjoy his work or I want to punch him in the face. And
I've only experienced that with him. I love him on Power Girl. I wanted to punch him in the face for Titan. So you have a point.
Yeah, I mean, really, you go, man, it's terrific, and then he does something else, and you go, what is he doing?
We know he can do better.
Yeah, and that's a good point. When he does really great work, it makes his lesser work more frustrating because he's capable of excellence.
Yeah, that applies to any writer where you're reading something really bad or really mediocre. You're like, oh, dude, he could do way better.
Yeah, but hey, a bad Peter David book is still, decent, miles above, some other works. Some people, Jeff Lemink is kind of in that same frame where some of his stuff is just brilliant, and then not so much on other works.
Mm-hmm,
And probably which ones I'm thinking of. So I don't. That's the thing. You bring up Superman. I might pick up his Super. I think I'll probably be buying more DC books.
Yeah, because the thing is, a lot of good stuff's coming out of this.
Too much good stuff. I don't know.
Because it's still about the money.
Yeah. Well, it's also. Well, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
How about this as an idea? Instead of half-assed reboots, where we worry about the continuity. Yes, some of the stuff is going to be in canon. Some of it. Why don't they just completely end a universe every generation and just start over, like every 20 years or so, 25
They've been
years.
technically doing that.
Yeah, but they're also trying to make peace with
backtrack it and make it work.
Yeah, and you know what? You should either go all in or all out. End this continuity, and then start over from scratch. Think of it like Batman TV series. How there's one every couple of years. They're not connected to each other, and no one really complains about it. Like, Brave and the Bold completely contradicts Bruce Timm's show. Well, it's not supposed to be connected. It's okay.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know, maybe they should do this too, and maybe it wouldn't be such a big deal to do it. But.
Well, the thing is, though, you bring that up because they'll try and tie in all the older stuff. The thing is, not every writer is good at that. Not every writer is Grant Morrison or Jeff Johns. They can't take all this continuity and make it work in a modern sense. So your point's a good point.
Yeah.
But again, you kind of pointed out there's all those old school fans who will get angry.
Yeah. Well, I'm an old school fan, but you know what?
Yeah, but eventually they'll get over it, though.
Yeah. Well, they get over it. That's the thing. They always bitch and complain, and then they continue by the books. Yeah. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe DC will frustrate more fans with this. That's what I'm kind of hoping. I'm sure they're hoping that too, that they don't piss off more fans and cause them to leave more than they pleased fans and brought new ones in. That's the kind of gamble they're making with this.
But at the end of the day, for me, it's just am I reading a good comic? Like, as long as you keep telling good stories in some way, I'm good.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll say this: I am frustrated with constant continuity shifts of stories.
Yeah,
I'd rather just read stories. I'm tired of the writers and the editors shifting continuity so they could do whatever they want. Well, just do that and just do stories. I'm really tired of that. It's like, that's Crisis on Infinite Earths and let's say that Star Trek movie that came out, which sort of shifted continuity so they tell their own stories. If the next 5 Star Trek movies are just like that, well, I don't want to read that. That's not fun. Watch that. I don't want. But I just want to read good stories with my characters that I love so much. And I don't know if you've thought about this. I'm a tiny bit afraid that what DC is doing is a Age of Apocalypse kind of thing.
Oh, man.
Have you thought of that?
I have seen people bring that up, and it's been in the back of my mind.
What if, like, 2 months later, and everything returns to normal? What if this is just a story?
Yeah, that would... However, there'd be a double-edged sword to that. On one hand, yes, that would be incredibly nerve-wracking. On the other, all those people who are bitching and moaning, we get things back to kind of the way we wanted it.
Yeah.
Like it's a double-edged thing where, like, you're getting something good out of it, but something annoying out of it.
Like when does Batman Inc. come back? Like
that's coming back next year. That's next year.
What if that's the plan? What if it comes back after all this is over? I mean, what if that?
Who knows?
I mean, that's what I think. That's what has me thinking. What if this is just some kind of like crossover Age of Apocalypse story? Or like Heroes Reborn or something like that.
Yeah, like the thing is, though, if it goes that direction, not every writer is going to be competent, so it's going to be tough to say, well, if the whole story's good. The whole story's not going to be great, because you have all these different people putting in something, trying to do something different from what you're doing. It's just going to, in the end of the day, it'll probably be okay if you put it in as a majority.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to single out the stories you liked out of it and dismiss a lot of it.
Let me say, here, this is how I'll feel. Within a couple of months, we need to take a look at specifically John's books, maybe Justice League and the Green Hornet. We need to keep an eye on his books.
His books are where it matters.
Because if his stories are hinting that there's some kind of mystery going on,
which he would totally do if this is happening.
Yeah, that's going to be a clue that this is all a temporary continuity story.
Oh, another thing I want to bring up, for once, Justice League might be the flagship title, because they have a writer who's the flagship writer.
Yeah, that would be.
Because for years that book was struggling.
Yeah, I felt
it wasn't even funny anymore. I just want to bring that out.
It did become the X-Men of DC for a while.
And they try, like every time they would try, like after Dwayne McDuffie left, and they said Robson was coming back, they're like, he's gonna bring the book in a new direction. No one gave a crap about it. And then they announced like the team shakeup with Mon-El and the Dick Knight and Donna Troy. They're like, this is gonna be a big new direction. No one gave a crap about it again. And then when Brightest Day happened, they were making a big deal about that. Again, no one gave a crap.
Yeah, suddenly people give a crap.
Yeah, you have, the two people running the damn company on the book, and one we're guaranteed will stay and be able to keep going for a while if he stays, because I'm kind of seeing that as, hopefully I'm wrong, but I'm kind of seeing that as one of the books where he's only on for an arc or two to get it going, and then give it off to someone who will drop the ball, possibly.
I am curious to see what Jeff Johns does with this team.
Because if he does it right, it'll be the center of the whole universe, where that'll definitely be the book you'll watch.
I'm curious what he will sort of base his version on Justice League. See Grant Morrison's League in this, or will this be more like maybe the 70s Big League?
Or will he be doing something of his own, like his own spin on it, which, granted, when he does it, he still takes chunks of something to make it work with it.
Or we'll see the old 60s kind of League kind of stories. You know, it's funny seeing Cyborg in there. I remembered of the Superpowers team in the animated series.
Yeah. That thought came to me earlier this week. It's except for Cyborg, it's the original lineup too.
Where's Firestorm? You should put Firestorm in there.
Yeah, I'm always that kind of guy who thinks how cool would it be if all these other people were in there, but I'm like, I don't think they can handle writing a Justice League Unlimited comic. Mm-hmm. That'd be cool, but I think it would be overwhelming. So I'm kind of tapped out for now on this. How about you, Manos? Do you have anything else to say?
I guess so. I think that's it it. It got me. I'm going to keep reading. There's some stuff. Well, there's some stuff I'm going to stop reading because I'm really not interested in the new Birds of Prey, and that really frustrates me because I was really enjoying Birds of Prey 2 seconds ago, and I will be picking up some stuff.
Yeah.
So,
but one more thing I want to mention, because like a lot of this is a lot of change-ups too. Like a lot of people writing something different. Like still the same books, like John's, same team on Green Lantern, and a few people are still kind of the same. But other than that, yeah, it's been huge shakeups.
Yeah, like they're keeping all the Jeff Johns continuity on Green Lantern, right?
As far as I know, yes. They better, because War of the Green Lanterns has been freaking awesome. And I don't want to see them just bat the eye about that. Like, I want them to... They killed Mogo!
Yeah.
They better not ignore that.
I want to tell all you Jeff Johns Green Lantern fans, don't worry. Anything Jeff Johns has written is canon.
Not to mention, he controls everything.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty much in charge, so anything he's written...
it's there, yeah.
It memos.
Yeah, you're all. Yeah. I'm all good. I'm all good. I'm looking at all my Green Lantern trades going now. Going, we're safe.
Dirty tweets. He's done. That's going to be anything.
Especially the tweets where he lost his remote control. Those are canon somehow to your story.
Yes.
So that's about it for us. Really good discussion. I love what we talked about. And not to mention the horrifying experience I've shared. If Wolf Girl finds me next week, I'm gonna cry. And buy another shotgun. Well,
there's no need for violence.
If she comes spearing at me with the horn, yes, there is a cause for violence. So
she just wants to love you.
Wrong kind of love.
What's wrong with you? That you don't love a half woman, half horse.
Half unicorn. Get it right. Yeah, so remember to follow both of us on Twitter. Links will be in the info, where you'll get updates and funny stuff from the both of us.
Yes.
So until next time, I'm Duke.
And I'm the real Manos.
Goodbye, unless we get rebooted.